Show. We're glad you could join our review of the exciting action of your University of Alabama's Crimson Tide football. The Bear Bryant Show is brought to you by Golden Flake Snacks, the only chips with Southern Fried Crunch, Coca-Cola. Coke adds life to football and fun, and the Southern Bank Corporation and its affiliates throughout Alabama. Now let's take a look at this week's game, Alabama versus Florida, with comments by Coach Paul Bear Bryant and me, Charlie Thornton.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome once again to the Bear Bryant Show, brought to you by Ice Cold Coca-Cola, by the Southern Bank Corporation, and of course by our friends at Golden Flake. And Coach, we got some tortilla chips today with nacho cheese flavor. They're always real good. And I'll pour them out where I'm going to eat some of those while you're talking about the ball game. Well, Coach, it was a 23-12 victory, Alabama over Florida yesterday at sold-out Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Yeah, it was a beautiful crowd, Charlie. The weather was ideal. Not ideal. The wind was strong, but it was nice and cool for the first time. It was a little chilly when we first walked out there, but it wasn't chilly very long. It wasn't for me anyway. I'm, as usual, and when we win, I'm tremendously proud of the team for winning and real happy for them for winning. I'm not proud of the way they won, to be perfectly honest about it, because I think Florida out-hit us. I think they out-meaned us. There's a difference in winning a game. I don't think we beat Florida. I think we won the game. We didn't beat them. There's a great difference there. We beat Ohio State, for instance, last year. No doubt about it. Went out and beat them every way known to man. But yesterday we went out and won the game from Florida. It's a lot easier to lose a game than it is to beat someone. We did a lot of things well that I'm real proud of. I haven't jotted down yet, Charlie. You've probably been in the paper. But first of all, defensively, we threw for 48 yards of losses on passes. Offensively, we had 10 out of 18 third down plays that we made good, and 3 of them were for over 20 yards. They had 3 out of 8. And then possession, we had the ball 37:06 minutes, and they have it 22:54. We had 83 plays. We put the ball in play 83 times. I've forgotten how many they put it in play.
They had 53, Coach.
Gained 496 yards, I believe. Had 1 interception. Now, you just look at that, well, you should have a big, big win. But the way it was, we had to fight right down to the wire. And first reason was the thing I should have mentioned first. The best thing we did all day was kick off. We had excellent kickoff. Timmy Clark kicked the ball, had 1 return of only 18 yards. The rest of them were not even returned. But when you turn it over and see where we averaged 22.5 kicking the football, we fumbled 6 times. We had 9 penalties for 74 yards. Now, we not only had the 9 penalties for the 74 yards, but what we gained on those plays. And one time we had a penalty, I know, when Nathan ran the ball back on a kick or a punt or kickoff one to midfield. So we started 3 times, I think, in the second half behind our 15-yard line. So when you do that, you're not going to score many points. And I've always said, and I still say, that coaching is football, and if you coach them right, they won't do those things. Everything but penalties. You either make a mistake in your recruiting or you make a mistake in your coaching. And but then the penalties is different. That's concentration and want to. And we haven't been doing anything about it, but talking to them and telling them how sweet they are. But there's something will have to be done about that. You know, Florida has a lot of good athletes. They're young. They'll knock your head off. We knew that before they came up here. I think they played well. They had a couple of bad breaks. And I want to go back to our kicking. Our punter was leading the conference yesterday morning. And we had a bad day, but I really think that that's my fault too, because when the wind is blowing and when you have a strong wind, you got to kick the ball right practically out of your hand. For instance, anybody would know if your ball drops that far, the wind won't bother it as much as if it drops that far. And the whole thing is a drop the way you hit the football. And we haven't worked on that. But anyway, we had people, I don't know how we graded. We had people that played injured. Marty Lyons played injured, and I think played pretty well. Tony Nathan wasn't well. He hadn't had any practice. We had some miss. We played Hamilton a little bit I'm glad we got him in there just a little. He hadn't played. And we still won the football game, and we didn't. A lot of our people played. Stevenson was injured, Bunch was injured, and I'm not. Well, I am defending them because they're mine. But I'm real happy to win the game. I'd have settled for a point before the game, but we didn't look good winning. We didn't prove anything, and we don't start proving something pretty soon, and within the next few days, and we'll get into that later, why we're going to be on that list you want to talk about, Charlie.
Coach, we'll be back with the first quarter of action following this message from one of our sponsors. Coach, look at that block.
Nice block with the right guard, too, Charlie. You're a busy person. We all are, and you can't always drop what you're doing to run to the bank. But you can get help at the anytime teller at your help bank. Get cash, make payments or deposits, or transfer between checking and savings. Anytime tellers are always open to fit your schedule. Bingo! That was a goodie.
Good folks getting together, sharing the life the South is living. Part of that life is sharing and giving, the taste of golden flakes. 'Cause they've got Southern fried crunch, you can eat them by the bunch. Golden flake potato chips with Southern fried crunch. Golden flake potato chips, you can eat them by the bunch. Golden flake, the only chips with Southern fried crunch.
We were very fortunate because they won the toss, chose to receive, and wound up kicking off into the wind. And Marty Lyons was one of our, Krause was one of our captains, and Jeff Rutledge was one of our captains. So there's Jeff passing on the first play. A nice blocking out by fullback and quarterback, too, this time, to Keith Pugh. Keith is a real fine all-around athlete, and Jeff Rutledge had a great game. I want to talk more about that later on. We're in the full house backfield here. I was telling Doug after the game, no, I didn't either. Stevenson, Whitman running with the game. Steve Whitman running with the football out of the full house backfield. We had both ends out. Whitman's at fullback, Nathan's at left half, Ogle's at right half, and that's Whitman running the ball now. Right Stevenson in center, Brock one guard, Booth at one, Bunch one tackle, Adelaide at the other, and Rick Neal tight end. Full house backfield again. Rutledge back to pass, and you see they're all over him. And Keith couldn't quite get to it. Full house backfield now. Regular stuff. We're not giving them anything different. Got full back. They pursue the ball well, and they hit you well. They have more skilled people than we do, and they hit harder than we've been hitting. Here's a counter option play. It's a fake trap. Everybody runs it. We don't run it very well. I think Jeff very wisely kept the ball inside. Jeff Rutledge in Birmingham comes out now on the option play. And he gets hit. He gets hit all the time.
It's 3rd and 3, Coach, and he picked up a first down on it.
It was a big first down, too. Counter play here with Ogilvy running with the football. Major did a little fumbling yesterday, the first time. He never normally fumble. That line's coming off the ball real well there. Of course, that defensive man made a real fine play. But the ball, as far as coming off the ball, I thought our line came off well. You just watch the difference when you see the ball move, and you can always, if they go past that where the ball started from. Jeff was a little hesitant, then he threw the ball away there. We had a little mix-up. Pugh fell down on the play, what really happened. Going for the field goal here, and I think it's the first of about 2 or 3 we missed. How many we missed, Charlie?
Which we missed 2. Allen was 1 out of 3.
So they take over now. Wayne T, the first play, and run a trap play that picked up a couple of yards. Full house backfield. Now, they came out with different things. That's unbalanced line then. Full house backfield, and what they did was to get some power blocking, and Collinsworth running with the football.
Warren Lyles made the tackle.
Real fine tackle there.
De Niro, Wingo, and Lyons, a loss of 2 on the play.
I think that Lyles is growing up pretty fast. I don't know how well he graded, but he made some plays. I get back there. Tony's was catching the football, running with it. At first, I was going to have Agnew because Tony hadn't had any practice. He had some practice catching, but not practice. Been for 2 weeks now. And we fumbled the football, and they recovered. So they're in business right on early in the game.
On our 24-yard line.
I think our defense rolls up pretty well here. I think De Niro, we have a tough guy on the squad. It's him. He'll get after you, and he's improving every game. I don't know how well he played. I don't know how well anyone played, but I know Lyon played injured and hadn't practiced all week.
Ricky Tucker drove him out of bounds after a 4-yard gain.
Fine tackle by little Ricky there. And they're no chiller, and I'll tell you, they know something about hitting them. I know they were disappointed after the game.
3rd and 2 now.
3rd and 2, we got a gap by wide. They one of our linebackers getting buried, running through.
De Niro tripped him up for no gain, though.
That was a new defense, actually, they had there. Coach Donahue put in for short yardage this week, and they get the field goal, though. You know, it was just like the one that Washington did. It just barely got over, but it doesn't matter as long as it gets over. I can't pronounce that fellow's name, but he's got a brother kick from Miami. He's kicking off.
Your premium.
Yeah, your premium. That's not very hard. Lou Eigner's running with the football here. Lou ran like he was tired yesterday. I mean that honestly. He may have had too much work, too much running this week. Full house backfield. Here comes a better play. Lou Eigner running with the ball. He's going to get killed if he doesn't get out. Lou got to go under him. He got to slide under him. Jeff's coming out, throws a pass. That's Keith Pugh wide open after the fake. Keith turns up field and makes some extra yardage, which is highly important.
Gains 10 and a first down.
He made one of the greatest catches yesterday you'll ever see. Remind you of old Oz. The batted play, they whipped us in. We didn't have fine defensive play by their group.
Major Ogilvy got 3 yards.
Jeff fakes. He had to pitch off the wrong man then. The man came in on him. Actually, he had a loss. Just a good play on the part of Florida. Jeff back to pass. You see what I'm talking about, Charlie, what I was talking about a while ago. Every time he passes, he's off balance, has to pull away from someone. Didn't have time to get the ball to Major. I think it'd have been a completion.
Comes a little new play in the
Here comes the play here. Very beautifully executed. I guess it's the first time we run it this year. Tight end delay with out of I formation. And Major Ogilvy takes the option to start, and when the cornerback leaves the end, he comes up. It's an option whether he runs or throws. And the big thing is being able to get it to the quarterback and the halfback, and the halfback being quick enough to get it to the end. That's fine protection then. That's one time Jeff had good protection. He hit his man, Bruce Bolden. Real fine catch with Bruce, and he goes toward the goal line. That gentleman there knows something about tackling, too, in the middle. The 20-yard secondary watches that.
It's a 20-yard gain.
Bruce Bolden is a senior. He's from Memphis. He had knee surgery, and he had hurt his knee again this year. Fine little athlete. Had a nice video with Doug before the game, Charlie. You know, he's still... Anyway, Alabama zip, Florida 3.
You've got to keep it up if you want to be happy. Keep it up. Stepping, snapping, moving your feet to the beat of a brand new day. What do you say? Hey, you got to keep it up. Jogging in the sunshine, running through the park, having a fun time, drinking a Coke, 'cause Coke adds life to these thirsty feet of mine. Keep it up now, Coke adds life. Coca-Cola adds life.
In football, it takes strategy to win the big games. Saving money is a good strategy, too, for the big times in life when you'll need it. And your health bank has lots of ways to help you save. With the regular saving plan, you can get automatic transfer between checking and savings, or just about any kind of saving plan that fits your game plan.
This coming Wednesday night at 8 p.m. in Legion Field, there's going to be a rather unusual football game. The Birmingham Touchdown Club and the Montgomery Quarterback Club are going to play a touch football game. Tickets are $2 a piece, and the All proceeds will go to the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Now, what makes this a little unusual, we've had a lot of these games in the past for charity. Galen McCullough, Darwin Holt, Tim Davis, some of the former Alabama players are among those who will play for the Birmingham Touchdown Club. Johnny Mosley and former Auburn great Mike Colum will play for the Montgomery team. But Charlie Boswell, the famed blind national golf champion, is going to quarterback and punt for the Birmingham Touchdown Club. And Coach, they tell me in practice, old Charlie can really zip the football.
He could really punt it when he's in college, I can tell you that. And he can do about anything. He probably throw it. I don't know about Johnny Mosley, though. He may be a little overweight.
I've seen Johnny, and I don't think he'll run those punts back too quickly. Coach, let's get into the second quarter of action, and Alabama's going to score
What
on the
about
first
big,
play.
big third down plays right here? Third down, get it off to Jackson. They had on the safety. No, he didn't. Jeff took it in. I'm ahead of myself. Beautiful blocking in. Jeff Rutledge made a fine play. He fakes his fullback, Steve Whitman, reads his man. Ogilvy made a block, and Jeff cut back inside their safety man, and he could have fished out to Tony, but he very wisely kept it himself. Jeff Rutledge, who had a great game in my opinion. He's a great football player in my opinion. I'll tell you more about that a little later. So we go out in front now, 7-3, and that 4-point cushion is a lot better than nothing. Of course, we're kicking off, and we're going into the wind now. We had the wind that quarter.
This is the only one they returned, I believe, Coach.
And I think it was for about 17, 18 yards,
right.
Not too. Let's see who made the tackle. That kick in the game, a kickoff is the most important play in football.
Number 88 is going to make the tackle.
Well, that's going to be Mr. Tim Travis, and I also think Major Ogilvy was in on it. We got both of them out of there later on because Tim got a lick in the head that he was worried about. Major played so much that he was worn out and was trying to save him. They ran that fullback in a real fine pursuit in the middle then.
McGriff, Wingo, and Krause.
They ran the full. Krause made a great recovery then.
That was Marty Lyons on that play.
The Lyons,
Right.
all the way from the center out. He was blocking and recovered them beautifully. Beautiful pass. I don't know whether he caught it or not.
Yes, he caught it.
Some of that tackle trap thing again. Picks up a few yards.
Lyles brought him down.
Anyway, on that pass, Ricky Tucker, I think, made a fine play on. He played right through him. Here comes the sweep. De Niro fight it off as Marty, Barry.
Krause, right. Now,
And Barry keeps good effort there and keeps after him. Barry's from Florida, and finally they never did really get him down.
they've blown it dead, I think. Gary had 6 tackles for losses yesterday. Coach told him 20 yards.
Big, fine play there. Beautiful play. Big loss by E.J. Jr. E.J. lost his grandfather over the weekend, and they certainly have our deepest sympathy. I don't know how he played, but that was one of the big losses. I think it was for 12 yards during the game. I mean, at the time. They're kicking. We get a good rush there. Their punter had a great day, and just show you, last week, their punter had a 20-something yard average. Tony Nathan, very wise in the fair, caught the football. The wind plays a big part in the football game. Both ends out here. And now we have Stedman Sheely in there. Bingo, a fine tackle and another fumble.
It's a good block by Bart Proud on him.
Well, we were forced to get that ball back. Real fine running here by Stedman Sheely. Stedman, you know, has been injured, and he's coming around, though. He's not as quick as he used to be, but he will be someday, I'm hopeful.
Billy Jackson gets 2 up the middle. It brings up 4th down.
Punting now into the wind. Really appreciated Dr. Matthews bringing the Democratic nominee for governor by yesterday, Mr. Bob James, who was a great football player at Auburn. I appreciated it, and I'm sure the players did after the game. Fine rush here. I remember this place so well. The Florida man made a great play out of it. We should have had him for a big loss back there. That's one of the few poor plays we made on defense. There's De Niro again. I noticed with paper, I didn't see him yesterday. His father was down. He had a brother play for Texas A&M with Beebe Stalling, who was out there. You got to move your feet, move your feet. You know, DJ Jr. makes the tackle.
And he
We have
calls the
people
fumble.
that cause the fumble.
And
One thing about playing football, anytime you can't move your feet, you just watch it right there, you can't play. You're in a position you can't move your feet. All you can do is reach with your arms or whistle. They got outside then. He pulled it up and through. They were outside, and he did the wise thing. Actually, the man was on, his knee was down after he caught the ball, of course. Full house backfield again now. They put Collinsworth back there. We tried awfully hard to get this young man. And he's going to get hit, bingo, right there by Ricky Tucker and somebody else, and I believe that's where he fumbled.
yes, sir, he fumbled it, and Curtis McGriff.
Curtis McGriff from Cottonwood.
Cottonwood. So Alabama takes over on its own 6-yard line.
We backed up so many times. Stedman Steele, quarterback, he ran the option play. They had played it well. They gave us a lot of defensive looks and a lot of offensive looks. That's a counter play.
Big one coming
Watch
up now,
this
Coach.
big third down coming up here now.
Watch
They
the
have a
fullback.
safety force on. The fullback, when he breaks out, see, there's a safety. There's a nice block over there, but he running in under the safety. And proved to me, and he has great speed. I thought the guy would catch it. I think he thought he was too there for a minute.
We'll see a replay of it. 87-yard touchdown. It ties the third long.
Vine blocked him with Dwight Stevenson. And it had to be some more blocking over there with Jim Bunch. I think Jim's in there. Booth, Allison, another Florida boy. I'm anxious to see how they all played. That's a beautiful little thing there. I've been seeing them against us. I don't believe they had one that long ago, have they, Charlie?
Yes, sir.
I listened to the Georgia LSU game last night, and that kid we all tried to recruit at a 99 or 97-yard return.
Lindsey Scott, it sure did.
Turn the thing around.
Kickoff return the second half.
mhm. Charles Alexander was injured. Big play. Bear Smith snaps her back. Humphries hold it. McElroy kicks it through. So with 5:15 to go, we kick off again.
This time,
That's Timmy Clark kicking off. Look where he kicks it. Into the wind. Great kickoff of Timmy Clark, the freshman. Look, big splits for Florida there. They're really splitting our line out. Quarterback keeps. Bingo. Real fine tackle.
It was Barry Krause and Murray Legg on it.
I was glad to see Barry from Florida. I know he wanted to complete that pass. Wing goes out there with it. Here comes nice option, beautiful play by that quarterback. Barry tripped him up too.
Stopped him from making the first down.
Yeah, big third down play. So they kicked. They got the win this time.
52-yard punt by Conover.
Tony Nathan fielded the football. Tony had been injured. He hadn't had a nice
We drew a penalty on this play.
on that block.
No, it was a personal foul call on us, Coach.
What it was?
Moved us back to the 14.
Well, we used to being back there, but now poor Sedman, he gets in there and boy, did they come up to the outside then. They were saying, let the pass go. Of course, we didn't have an eligible receiver down over there. And Stedman gets a delayed pitch out to Eigner, and Eigner almost gets his leg broken. But, you know, this bunch here, we have a new group in there. Huffstetler's at center. I believe this is the time. Allison Cowell at the guards. Barnes and McComb at the tackle for Cersei. Bart Crowd at the end. Tim Travis. Tim didn't play a whole lot after he got hit in the head. Jim Goostree told me not to. Our trainer. They're back to pass.
Speaking of him, he made that catch, Jim Goostree.
What Jim did. Jim been the busiest man in America this year. We had a pretty good rush there then, and I guess Lyons is the one got his hand up.
Curtis McGriff, I believe.
Curtis did?
Yes, sir.
That's the best thing he does. That was a good play. That's the best way to break one up. Saw Jim Watley beat Georgia that way one day. Fine defensive play there. So they go for the field goal.
It was Randy Scott who had Broken it up.
Oh yeah, Randy had a broken hand, and it was. I thought he'd intercepted that if he hadn't had.
If Permian kicks a 52-yard field goal, make it 14-6.
Randy Scott's a fine football player. Tony Nathan receiving the kickoff here. They have talented athletes covering all their kickoffs. They use a lot of fast men, and they have a lot of fast ones in Florida. As you know, recruit down there.
Tony got it back 15. We take over 1st and 10, our own 20.
Jackson hits in the middle. We didn't get much there. Wally Barnes is at center instead of
Lou again.
Well, Lou was out there. Actually, Stedman, he'd tell you to be the first. He should have kept that ball himself then. He was going a little ways.
Steve Whitman.
But he was nothing selfish about Stedman. So we're kicking again into the wind. I was hoping we might get a first down. And you can see we didn't get very much distance there. They didn't have any returns on punts because we didn't get into the safety. Fair rush for normal rush. Well, I say a normal rush when you're rushing with 4 men. You got to be fish or foul. You got to send the people. But that was a draw play. And the thing about it, with that man already past the line of scrimmage, our secondary didn't react very quickly. They're standing there pointing like they're waiting for them to come to him to come to them. Merleg, I believe, intercepts this one. A real fine play, an important play, big play.
We get a good return, but we also got a clipping
down
penalty.
there right on the goal line. We got a clipping thing. And look at here, see, we could
Marty with a good block.
take the distance that he gained on it away too, as well as a clip. It was so. Alabama 14, Florida 6, end of the half.
Good folks getting together, sharing the life the South is living. Part of that life is sharing and giving, the taste of golden flakes.
'Cause they've got Southern fried crunch. You can eat 'em by the bunch. Golden flake potato chips with Southern fried crunch. Golden flake potato chips, you can eat 'em by the bunch. Golden flake, the only chips with Southern fried crunch.
Give me a smile with everything on it, and I'll pass it on. So give me a Coke when you smile, and I promise to pass it along. I'm gonna pass it along. The world needs a break when it's tired and thirsty. Coke and a smile is how it should be. Coke has life, Coca-Cola has life.
Coach, and I believe you mentioned, I asked you earlier about Southern Cal, and you said they got beat by Arizona State
Yeah,
last
Mark
night.
and I watched, listened to LSU and Texas A&M, but, you know, two games at once, and he said he heard that Southern Cal got beat. Well, I didn't believe it, really. I thought he misunderstood it, but this morning I found out they were beating 20-7 by Arizona State, because Arizona State has beat a lot of people.
But you realize that I think I'm right on this, that yesterday 10 teams in the top 20 got beat. One of them got tied, and 2 had open dates and didn't play. So it was a rough day for them.
And Kansas, that's over Bud's heart. He had 2 chances to beat him. That proves 2 things, Charlie. Anything can happen in football, and people does the picking don't know what they're doing. They're guessing. I would guess, too, about getting paid for it, though.
You know, back in 1932, Frank Taylor and Coach Paul Bryant started in the School of Commerce, I believe it was, at Alabama. I don't know how long either one of
I'm
them
not going to
lasted.
tell you where I wound up.
But our feature today is
Oh,
about
yeah.
the future of Alabama industry and what's really going on in the state of Alabama.
We know more about Alabama's economy than anyone else in the state. At the Center for Business and Economic Research, the calls come in daily from clients such as the Tuscaloosa Goodrich plant, where Ken Tucker says its information is very necessary.
We use this center to obtain business and population statistics.
Because of data from the center, Walter Doty established his wholesale drug company in Birmingham in 1973.
It tells us exactly what the retail market is in each county in the state of Alabama.
Jim Coleman of Alabama Power says the service is vital.
Ultimately, the primary use for it is to plan for the electrical needs of our customers tomorrow and in the years ahead.
There are good reasons for the center's effectiveness.
I think that each of our users believes that his request is the most important, and we try to treat each one as if it is.
Making decisions is easy. It's getting the data on which to base a good decision that's difficult. That's what the center delivers, hard, factual data.
Service to Alabamians from the Center for Business and Economic Research at the University of Alabama.
Helping businesses and industries do their jobs better makes life better for the people of our state. It also helps the state grow, and I think that was part of the message in the feature, Coach.
We have our choice second half, Charlie, and we're going to receive because we want to win the fourth quarter. And, well, that's good or not, I don't know.
Well, Coach, we'll be back for that, but right now we need to sell something. So we'll be back for the third quarter of action following this important message from one of our sponsors.
13 different banks, like the individuals on a football team. Each of these full-service banks has its own identity, personality, and capability to handle a variety of banking roles. Conveniently located throughout Alabama, this highly versatile and experienced banking team is big enough to tackle any financial plan or problem. As a customer of any of these banks, you can count on the same team to come cash your checks and do a whole lot more for you. Southern Bank Corporation of Alabama. Now, that's what I'd call a winning team.
Corn chips, Golden Flake corn chips. Corn chips with Southern pride. Nacho chips, Golden Flake nacho chips. Nacho chips with Southern pride. Cheese curls, Golden Flake cheese curls. Cheese curls with Southern pride. Golden Flake, whichever you choose, you can eat them by the bunch. Golden Flake, the only chips with Southern fried crunch.
Florida kicking off, and this is your Premium once again. Tony Nathan downs it in the end zone, so Alabama set up 1st and 10 on its own 20.
Going into the wind now. Two wide ends. Jeff Rutledge, the quarterback. You know, Jeff is not only a bright young man, he's a fine Christian young man. We didn't get a block out there, but he's a great football player. Another fumble. They recovered, but it's out of bounds, and we wound up with about a 9-yard gain. But Jeff comes up with a big play, and our protection has been such that he's turned a lot of, that's footman running with the football, a lot of bad plays into good ones. For instance, you go back to pass, somebody rushing and get around him, and right there, we didn't get anybody blocked, and he turned in and picked up a yard or two rather than...
Got 3.
There's a draw play. Whitman running the football. Whitman is a big, strong youngster. Runs hard with the football. He doesn't have quite the quickness that Jackson has. But I'd hate to have to be tackling him all afternoon. Full house backfield. Jeff makes his fake. Back to throw.
Throwing for Keith Pugh.
And Keith is just a little overthrown. Actually, I think I told Keith this. He reached for the ball a little too soon. Timing. Don Hudson was the greatest at it in the world. He just run under it and reach at the last instant. He had no one to pass to then. He was trying to got to a safety valve, and very fortunately we got out of it. Going to black formation here. That is the I formation, as far as we're concerned. Ogilvy ran the draw play when he didn't fool him much. So we have to kick now. Kick into the wind again. That old boy, he made a nice catch, but I don't recommend those guys. We had a lot of folks standing around there. So they take over.
There's another big play by Gary De Niro.
Here comes Gary. They run that reverse. I thought he was by Gary, but he just kept after. That's what you call great effort.
It's Collinsworth with all that great speed,
yeah,
too.
And I tell you, look right empty down that sideline to me, too.
Loss of 11.
Great play. Gary's from Youngstown, Ohio. I think I mentioned that Beebe said his brother's the best football player he ever saw. And one of the lines back there, and Gary going out again, he's outside of him, but he's chasing him. He doesn't quite get him, and one of the linebackers get out. Now, I think Ricky Tucker wound
right.
up making the play. They're kicking now. You know, I saw Troy Barker and Joe Riley before the game yesterday, and boy, was I glad to see them. The old-time Alabama greats. Fine defensive playing by the Florida team then. That was supposed to be a sweep. 2 wide ends. Rutledge on the option play. Great option by Jeff to get the ball out there. We're not blocking them very well.
3rd and 12.
Big 3rd down play. Jeff back to pass. Here's the man coming to see him. Nice block. Who picked him up there?
Coach, I didn't get the number. He's
Now look
turned
here.
sideways.
He's still going complete. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Rutledge does a great job. Gets the ball to
Keith
Pugh. And I think picked up the 1st down.
Indeed.
Joe Riley and Troy Barker both retired from the Army. Oh, they made the Army career. That was a draw play. They recovered the fumble, and you see why we didn't get any more points with putting the ball in play 83 times.
They're on our 24-yard line.
Out backfield. Went back to pass. They're going to try to hit Collinsworth somewhere, I expect.
Ricky Tucker comes up with another big play.
That was a great play by Ricky Tucker. Ricky Tucker and Don McNeil both back there.
Warren Lyles is going to make a big defensive sack.
Warren's only a freshman. Come on, Warren. Come on. I don't know where. Yeah, we see somebody coming.
Gary Denaro.
Denaro again, and Warren puts the wood to him. Very fine play and a real big play. They're back to pass again. Complete. Bingo.
Gary Denaro on the tackle.
Gary dropped off there, and they go for the field goal. He finally misses one.
Right, 49
We didn't put a
yards
whole
in.
lot into trying to block. I wasn't sure they was going to go for was going to try the field goal. I think they might fake it. So we take over now at the point that they attempted the field goal from.
Coach, and we skipped 2 series. We had a long film, so we pick it up.
Willie Jackson running with the football. Searcy, Cowell, Barnes, Huffstetler. Uh-oh, we were real fortunate there.
Lou Eichner recovered, I believe.
McComb, done there now. Beautiful pass here by Stedman Shealy. Now this team moves the ball on down into the wind. Stedman hit Bruce Bolton out there.
17 yards and the 1st down at the 41.
Big 1st down, and we were trying to rest the first group to get the wind.
Cal pulling.
Real fine running by Jackson then.
Jackson gets 7.
They control the football for a few seconds, then we'll get a field goal out of it. The belly play then, the execution wasn't what it should be. Saw Billy Neighbors chilling yesterday. Of course, my good buddy Bobby Neighbors at the game.
He was out early yesterday.
Yeah, I always see Bobby. That's great running there. Absolutely great running.
Jackson got
Willie
10
Jackson.
on the 1st down.
Stedman Seelig, quarterback. Keep the football. No, it's Jackson.
This is a replay,
Jackson
right?
fooled me. Replay. Jerry Brannon, his little boy, was the game. Jerry Brannon on I first got to Alabama 21 years ago. Jerry was one of our players. He looked like he's still had aged in. He lives in Gainesville. Stedman Shealy passing again, and we're pretty fortunate. Nice defensive play, and they were pretty fortunate that Bruce didn't quite get his balance. He'd have caught that tip.
3rd and 7, and a big run by Jackson.
Big one by Jackson here.
Great hold.
Almost. Well, he shakes him loose down there a little bit.
Gains 18 down the 21.
Nice blocking in the middle, too.
Tremendous hold.
He's going to be he's already a fine football player. Beginning to look people up. You know, your fullback doesn't have many blocking assignments. He has to look people up after you fake to him. And Johnny Davis last year got to where he would really find them. So into the 3rd quarter, we still, Alabama 14, Florida 6.
Saturday night, go downtown, see the sights, girls and pinballs, coke and bright lights. Wish every day
Saturday night. Time is so precious, seems a shame to waste it. Waste it. Saturday night feels so good you can taste it. Coca-Cola adds life when the lights are bright. I wish every day was Saturday night. Wish every day was Saturday night. Coke adds life. Coca-Cola adds life.
The Alabama junior varsity team will play the Ole Miss junior varsity tomorrow at 1:30 in Tuscaloosa at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and something a little different. They're going to play a football doubleheader, Coach.
Yeah, well, that was necessitated by the fact that we both had Livingston scheduled, and NCAA required us to have 4 games, and we just had to play one another twice, and we decided to do it the same day, and because it works hardship both ways. I was week to the Tennessee game. I also want to mention, Charlie, that still have some tickets to the Mississippi State game. And I noticed by the paper this morning where that new quarterback there, though, threw for 5 touchdowns. Anyway, they beat Florida State
55-27.
I had no idea after Florida, you know, beating them. So anything can happen in football, and we're playing Mississippi State in Birmingham this year for the first time since I've been there, and it should be some kind of game, and you probably want to see that fellow. I don't want to see him, but you probably want to see him operate.
Coach, let's get in the final quarter of action.
4th quarter now, and we got the football.
3rd and 10 on the 21.
Jeff Rutledge back at quarterback. Huff Statler is center now. Stevenson hurt. Jeff's back to throw. Look what I'm talking about. They're all over him all the time. He just stays in there. Gets it loose from him. He must be a good dancer. Nimble feet. He finds Tony Nathan out and picks up some valuable yardage.
It's 4th and 4, so we go for the field goal.
Have to go for the field goal now, and got the win. That's the beauty of it. But it doesn't help us any because we didn't get it. Yeah, we did. We did get it. That's the one. Yeah, the second bunch took them down there, and they got the field goal.
32-yarder, make it 17-6. Timmy Clark kicks off once again.
Timmy kicking with the wind now. He's in great shape. They in what we call brown formation there, and bingo! There's a goodie. That's what you call getting right in the middle of it. The dude in, as he used to say, putting the bonnet on him. Gary De Niro, that's bound to make him feel good, too.
Loss of 2.
Well, that's grabbing there, but they pulled him down finally after that loss. Florida back to pass. They show pass, softly pass. That quarterback coming out of there running again.
Brantley picks up 17 yards and a first down to 41.
Brantley, they're starting the quarterback normally. Here comes the reverse pass. We had a rush on it. We got 3 men back there, I think. Yeah, we do. Stand there and let him catch it. That's beautifully executed by them if you from Florida.
Gains 38 down to the 21.
Alabama allowed to play.
Here comes a touchdown.
Fakes the tailback, throws it down and out. Flag play, we call it. And he's wide open. An easy touchdown. Beautiful play by Florida.
19-yard touchdown. We're going for 2.
At De Niro,
Murray
Legg did a great job then, a great effort jumping the man.
Ricky Tucker bats it away.
Tucker knocks it down. Had a big play. They got to go for 2 in that situation. Or at least my book says they do, unless you have a hunch. So they're kicking off, or they're left-footed kicking off again.
This is a long return, and we get a clipping penalty.
We get a clipping penalty, and Tony brings this up back middle of the field. I guess that's a clip right there.
It is. They call it on Rick, would it?
That's a clip.
What it?
Well, this is above the waist, wasn't it?
Yes, I thought it was.
Still us had the ball up here in the middle of the field. We backed up to our backs to that goal line again. And after them just scoring, that, of course, gives us a little momentum. It makes it more difficult for us. Rutledge back to pass. He has
Watch this
protection
catch.
now.
Watch this catch by Keith Pugh.
Keith Pugh ran a post. And a great catch. He took the ball away from the defender, what really happened.
49-yard gain to the 50.
Got us out of that terrible hole back there. We'll do something. We didn't have much of a fake here, but Jeff comes right back and threads the needle. Perfect pass. It had to be perfect for Rick Neal, because he was covered short and covered deep.
16-yard gain to the 34. Nathan got 3.
Pull out backfield, come right back, run Nathan on the power play.
3rd and 4.
Their line is still bellying it up to us. You can't. A big play there, a real big play.
Jackson got the 4 and the first down.
Now, we were shifting our end from one side to the other. They probably wonder why we're doing that. Normally, they would shift. They have strong halfbacks, weak halfbacks, strong safeties, weak safeties, and make them have to shift. Anytime you have to move around. Jeff back passing. Fine play by the defensive man.
Intended for Bruce Bolton.
But they have a tendency to get mixed up maybe, or have to change the defense you had called. I guess this is a replay. I'm not sure.
No, it's a swing
pass. Flat Rutledge this time. Oh, yeah. Tony put that ball away now. Fine running there by Tony Nathan.
Picks up 6 and brings up 4th and 2 on the 16.
I expect, with that win, we'd had what I thought was a sure field goal kicker. Real great play by Jeff then. When a missed block, the man came in but he wisely kept the ball inside and made the first down.
Got it to 9, and here comes a touchdown.
Get it off to Jackson, fakes to Jackson. Pitches out to Tony. That was a great play there by Jeff. 2 men tackling him and gets it out to Tony, and Tony heads for that corner and runs over the last man. Fine running there by Tony Nathan. Puts it in the end zone. Had the ball on the outside arm where he could put that shoulder to him like he's supposed to. Instead of this being a loss right there, and he was getting Jeff around the arms, too. If Tony had the ball on the other arm, it would probably been a fumble. So that was a big one.
And Coach, we're going
for 2 here. And they broke up our pass. We had a 3-out pass over there. Actually, it's supposed to look like a run, and we didn't make it look much like a run. It started like a run. Fine play by them, so Timmy Clark kicking off again.
Once again, it's a touchback. Kicked it all the way out
of the end zone. Plumb out of the field of play. That's the best way to start them. So Florida takes over. They're still not ready to give up. They throw a quick hitch out in the flat. Bingo! Now that's the way to tackle.
Number 91, Warren Lyles.
Real fine tackle by Warren Lyles. That's Rick Ringo tackling him in, I believe.
Right.
Rick from Elkhart, Indiana. They had a pretty good rush on him in the end.
Alan Crumley broke it up.
Pretty good play by Allen, too. Allen was injured early in the year. He played very little because of his injury. He worked awfully hard, though, and of course Phil Allman, you know whether he's ready to play or not. He had his appendectomy in. So that kick, and we wanted them to kick. Let the ball go. There again, we're trying to put them in to get them to move, but they won't. We had a little mix-up, really, then. We just had one-man backfield, and we didn't plan that that way. It was double wing back way we had. Fake sweep, throw out Keith Pugh. We get a tripping penalty here. That's real fine running by Keith. Our man blocked him, but I thought it was above the way. So we backed up to our 15 again. Comes to draw play. Tony Nathan running the football.
Lou Eichner.
Lou Eichner. I want Lou. Got to get under him like sliding under the pitcher. I don't want to hit him. Fake a reverse play here. Now here's what I'm talking about. Jeff gets away. We're going to throw a long pass. He keeps fooling around there and finds a man open and turns a 10-yard loss into a gain.
15-yard gain to Jackson. And Florida gets a personal foul, which tacks 15 more.
Jeff has about a 45-yard deal there, all because Jeff could think and could move his footses. On the sweep, then, that's one of the first time we got anything out of the sweep. Lou Eichner running it. We did later on.
There's Whitman.
Big Steve Whitman. Great effort by the Florida team because in
the game,
I started to say the fourth quarter.
Good folks getting together, sharing the life the South is living. Part of that life is sharing and giving, the taste of Golden Flakes. 'Cause they've got Southern fried crunch, you can eat 'em by the bunch. Golden Flake potato chips with Southern fried crunch. Golden Flake potato by the bunch. Golden Flake, the only chips with Southern fried crunch.
To have a championship team, you need the right combination of talents. Bankers Dozen is a winning team of bank services put together by your help bank. It's the right combination of 13 kinds of help, all for only a small monthly fee. You get a checking account, all your checks, insurance, automatic transfers, and more. Bankers Dozen from your help bank. Boy, would I like to use 13 sometime.
Coach, and our featured players this week, I don't know exactly who we've got.
I don't either, really.
We'll take a look at them, though. And
that's Sylvester Croom, one of our assistants, made All-American Center in Alabama. He was responsible for the game, and I think did an excellent job scouting them and presenting it to the team. Timmy Clark, our kickoff man, who's getting better every day, and, of course, Gary Dinero, from Youngstown, Ohio. Timmy's a freshman, Gary's a sophomore, having been held out. And from Nashville, Tennessee, another sophomore, E.J. Jr., who had at least one big play. He'd been injured during the week. And Jim Bob Harris. I thought he had the interception. Did he, Charlie?
No, some Murray Leg had the interception yesterday.
Yeah, he had the interception. Jim Bob caught the fumble. Anyway, Warren Lyle, he had a big play, and several. I think he played pretty well. I may be wrong, but he's getting better all the time. And Marty Lyon didn't have any practice during the week because he was injured the week before, but he played almost the entire game. Barry Krause from Pompano Beach, Florida. I don't know how he played. He had some big plays. Murray Leg. In Birmingham, he had one interception, and I know he had a couple other big plays. Every time I brag on somebody, they have great output. Rick Wingo, Elkhart, Indiana. Rick had been injured for a couple of games. He's all right now. And we had a great day. Jeff Rutledge, senior from here in Birmingham. He had many big plays. And Billy Jackson, Phoenix City, he's a sophomore and put on not only the long run, but he had a good day, I think. Keith Pugh. Keith from Evergreen is a junior, and he's a fine athlete. He can play anywhere. He's playing quarterback some off and on for us to help our deal. And, of course, Rick Neal here in Birmingham. Rick's a good, smooth football player. Dwight Stevenson from Hampton, Virginia, has been a terrific center for us. He's injured going into this game. I don't know how he played. Buddy Adelette from Mobile. Buddy used to play tight end, and he's one of the hardest workers you'll ever have, one of the most dedicated players you'll ever have. Bruce Bolton from Memphis. Bruce is a senior. It seemed like yesterday he got there. Big Steve Whitman from here in Birmingham. Steve is a junior. He's mad at somebody, probably me. I hope he take it out on the team. Scott Allison from the same town that Collinsworth is from, Charlie. Right. Titusville, Florida. I don't know how he played. Don McNeil, of course. Don has been having big plays. He's only a junior. And Ricky Tucker from Florence is a sophomore, and I know he had a couple of big plays. Ricky played as a freshman last year. Ricky Gilliland from here in Birmingham. He'll knock your head off. He doesn't look like it, but he will. I don't know why I said he doesn't look like it. He's not big. And I think Randy Scott will, too, another fine linebacker. Randy had a broken hand. He's from Atlanta, or Decatur, which is part of Atlanta, I guess.
Well, Coach, this week it's our trip to Knoxville, Tennessee to play the University of Tennessee, which is one of the great football rivalries, I guess, in the entire nation.
Yeah, I think so, Charlie, and I doubt very seriously we'll get the message across to our players. It's been a big game for years and years and years, of course. And the last few years we've beaten Tennessee, and of course they got chained Bill Battle and brought in Johnny Majors, who's an excellent coach and a real fine person, to rebuild them. And then we beat them last year, and they had a bad year last year, as a matter of fact. But they went out and did the greatest job recruiting that I know of. But the thing about playing Tennessee, and particularly in Knoxville, but any time Alabama, everybody in Tennessee, I don't care, I see my best friend in Memphis might be from Tennessee. And he can't wait. He said, we'll get you, we'll get you. And you go anywhere you see him, the game they want to win is Alabama. They want to win the Alabama game. I mean, the people, and Doug Dickey and I were talking about, he's the coach there, how easy it was to get them ready. You don't have to get them ready. You just say sick them. But the thing about it, when you go to Knoxville, and this is a tough place to play, too. Now, one thing, if they get beat, they don't say anything. They go on about the business. They whip you while they're going about the business. But you go to Knoxville, you have a problem like you have with Georgia and maybe our place at LSU with the communication. But the thing you better know, if they want to kill you, you can't imagine how aggressive, and it's going to be hard. Our players are a lot brighter than I am, and they know everything. They're real knowledgeable. But they don't have any idea how, I don't care whether you're a freshman, sophomore, whether you got any talent or doesn't have any talent, they'll try to knock your head off. And that's what's going to happen up there next Saturday. We haven't played a team, except Southern Cal, like that. We haven't beaten a team like that. And if we don't go up there and play 5 times as well as we played yesterday, more aggressively, and quit doing the stupid things we do, we're going to get beaten. We should be beaten.
We had an open date this week.
We had an open date to get ready for us. I don't blame them for that. Heck, let them do what everybody does, everything they can to try to get the advantage. And we made a lot of money for the conference getting on TV early, and I don't know whether that was good or bad now. But anyway,
we'll see you next week.
See you next week with a big smile on.
Right.
This is Charlie Thornton inviting you to join us again next week for the Bear Bryant Show, brought to you by Golden Flake, the only chips with Southern Fried Crunch. Coca-Cola. Coke adds life to football and fun. And the Southern Bank Corporation and its affiliates throughout Alabama, who urge you to continue your fullest support of the University of Alabama.